Thanks for tuning in to my official YouTube channel, Reverend MeeLing. I'm Reverend MeeLing, also been known as Reverend Susan MeeLing, Lady MeeLing, Lady Dori, Belle, been known by a few names. Got my Medal of Honor art project, the second biggest piece right there. On my way to go drop it off. I'm excited. Got all, excited. And so, but in that process, I was thinking about some funny stuff. And I do not deny that I can giggle at some oddities very, very easily. For example, Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kuykendall Jr., got the name Cactus Jack because he landed on Cactus. Now, he tried to tell me that I could never be a Texan. Not that I ever claimed being a Texan. I did acknowledge that I woke up in the state of Texas after my head injury on Palm Sunday in 2000. I mean, I could kinda-ish, but because I re-woke up, I was re-raised in the state of Texas. That being said, Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kuykendall Jr., got the name of Cactus Jack because he landed on Cactus in the state of Texas. Where in the state of Texas can you go that you don't see cactus? I mean, I know I'm not the smartest person. I did go from college algebra with trigonometry and calculus to second grade math. And maybe there are, Texans who would agree with Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kuykendall Jr., who would say that just because I was re-raised in the state of Texas after waking up from my head injury on Palm Sunday in 2000 from basic training in the Army, again, ironies of ironies, that doesn't necessarily make me a full-blooded Texan, okay? Nonetheless, there is that saying about the state of Texas: you don't mess with Texas, right? There's that saying, you don't mess with Texas. And then everything's bigger in the state of Texas. So, having been born and raised in the state of New Jersey, which is one of the tiniest states, and what do they say about people from New Jersey, first and foremost, on average, in regards to certain sorts of attitudes, despite how teeny tiny that particular state is, and that whole thing. And then, a little bit of a Napoleon complex in certain regards, because I'm short. I'm only 5'4". But there are certain attitudes in certain regards. I know that, language-wise, that certain Texans could have certain issues with the, by technicalities, what I say now in comparison to before my head injury on Palm Sunday in 2000. Just saying, the amount of swearing I can do. Nonetheless, I did go and look to see how many New Jerseys it takes to fit in the state of Texas. And I think the number is actually kind of close to the number of Medal of Honor art project pieces I did. That aside, where in the, and I'm a dominant sadist in the lifestyle. I don't deny that. And there's certain attributes in certain regards to certain things that I've done over the years, whether you look at the different books I wrote, whether you look at my scuba diving stuff, and the fact that I landed where I did and surfaced and, am still alive. Today is the 17th of June, 2020. That whole thing from like the Matthias Abyss area. And then there's that God Bless Texas thing. Where in the state of Texas can anybody go and not find Cactus somewhere? Dominant sadist. Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kuykendall Jr., landed on Cactus. And it was Army guys from the United States of America's Armed Forces. I was in the Army. I didn't graduate basic training. But I fought to be emancipated to go into the Army branch of the United States of America's Armed Forces. And realistically, New Jersey is the only state where everybody in the state that's born and raised there would pretty much be proud of the fact that General George Washington's private latrine is behind the church that he designated to be a hospital. And that church I grew up going to. Because even people in the state of Texas, there are some that, behind closed doors, pun intended, they'd be like, yeah, it's pretty cool. But New Jerseyans, especially from the 1980s and 90s, yeah, that's right, General George Washington, he did that, right? He did his business there. He planned so many missions. And usually only military guys and law enforcement guys would joke about that. But New Jerseyans, it don't matter. It does not matter, male or female. Yes, he did. So being the dominant sadist that I am, how funny is it when you think about it that throughout the entire state of Texas, not just San Antonio, but the entire state of Texas, where can you go where Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kuykendall Jr., could go where there's not cacti? Nowhere is the answer. There is not one city in the state of Texas, however many times a size of New Jersey can fit in the state of Texas. Not one area that does not have cactus. I get zero escaping now. Though I still don't personally like it because I just like certain types of flowers, but it's a personal preference. Nonetheless. How funny is that there's nowhere in this. So does Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kuykendall Jr., does he get triggered everywhere he goes in the state of Texas? Because no matter where he goes in the state of Texas, there's a cactus plant somewhere. And then the irony is my biological mother, Anna, the only plant she could ever get to grow was a cactus. She could never get any other plant to grow except for cactus, which is irony in whole other ball of wax in that regard. But yeah, so, you know, where in the state of Texas could Cactus Jack go that he wouldn't find a patch of cactus? Nowhere. Not a single place in the entire state of Texas. Not one city in the state of Texas can Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kuykendall Jr., go where there's not cacti. Not one city in the entire state of Texas. And then his dad was nicknamed Paw Paw. And aren't they called Paw Paw patches for cacti? Should throw that out there. Which, in a whole other ball of wax, so Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kuykendall Jr., had no problem when his dad, Jeffrey Kuykendall Sr., had grabbed one of my boobs in his house. And then I got in trouble for being upset that, first and foremost, his dad grabbed one of my boobs without my permission at all. And then I got in trouble for being upset by that. I mean, not in the same way as when my now dead ex-husband was alive, mind you. However, I dealt with like a whole bunch of whining and temper tantrums. Because Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kuykendall Jr., defended his dad for grabbing my boob. Just saying. And then I also got in trouble because his dad, Jeffrey Kuykendall Sr., had given my daughter a little sip of Long Island iced tea, and I almost took that mug from him, smashed the glass, and then put it to his throat. But instead I was calm. I was very calm, and I just told him not to do that. I almost went full New Jersey on him for that. And that is very New Jersey. That's very, very New Jersey. Because Texas, it's a beer bottle. New Jersey is the glass. And so, yeah. I actually dealt with whining from Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kuykendall Jr., because I was offended that his dad grabbed my boob, as well as being upset because his dad allowed my daughter, who, by the way, is still technically underage, to drink a sip of his Long Island iced tea. Again, very lucky that I was able to keep myself composed both times. However, his mom, Mrs. Kuykendall, the one that worked for Northside Bus for the bus district stuff, she was not happy that her husband grabbed my boob, nor was she happy that he gave my daughter a sip of Long Island iced tea. So yeah. However, there was a point in time when I was in San Antonio after my daughter was in Laurel Ridge because of what had occurred after McCoy Elementary School and that whole thing in Carrollton, Texas, of Carrollton Farmers Branch Independent School District. And Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kuykendall Jr., the same individual who had assisted with that whole Fiesta San Antonio thing with the Mad Max thing and all that garbage, he had told me that he was in the process of going to emergency medical service school. And I asked him, do you think that's really smart? And he asked me why. And I said, why would you apply to go to do emergency medical services in the city of San Antonio after what you did because of the Fiesta San Antonio, Texas thing? And Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kuykendall Jr., said, oh, nobody in San Antonio cares about that. I looked at him and I said, I don't know. I have a feeling, did you actually get accepted to the school? And he was like, yeah. I go, so they're basically going to take your money and they're not going to let you actually become an emergency medical service person. And he looked at me and goes, no, I'm going to be blah, 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 blah. I was like, no. Not after how much fun of the people in San Antonio that you made fun of after what you did in reference to the 151 Mad Max thing, all because you threw a tantrum because of you getting the name Cactus Jack. Like, I don't see the city of San Antonio being like, that's no big deal that you just used a whole bunch of military vehicles to encircle the entire 1604 loop to make sure you encompassed all 5 military bases because of getting the nickname of Cactus Jack. Like, I don't see the city of San Antonio being like, that's no big deal that you found it funny that the San Antonio Police Department couldn't figure out what it was that they could charge you on when I told, in that discussion, when I told you, you sounded like a terrorist. I don't think so. I don't see the people of San Antonio or the state of Texas being okay with that. Like, I don't. And I still, at that time, and that was back in 2012, and I still hope that they charge you with, terrorism at some point. And you don't like that. I don't care. But he also told so many people about that. He made fun of the people in the city of San Antonio in IHOP off of Bandera Road and 410. The IHOP there was a guy there that did the waiter thing. Really sweet guy. And he told me that he wanted me to remember he played Link or Zelda or something of that regard. And I don't know why, but I guesstimate there's a reason. Nonetheless, after Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kuykendall Jr., told that guy at the Bandera and 410 IHOP, that guy was like, every time, there were a whole bunch of times going in there, and he's like, hey Susan, do you remember what video game I play? No. Link. Zelda. Remember one of them. Okay, I'll try. I had a head injury on Palm Sunday in 2000. Oh my god, I know. Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, I guesstimate he might have put something together because Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kuykendall Jr., told a whole bunch of people in the city of San Antonio what he did as far as the Fiesta San Antonio, Texas thing. I told him that sounded like a really dumb idea, but he felt that he could do that and nobody would have any problem with it whatsoever. I told him that I don't think so. So yeah, I just figured on my way to go drop off my second biggest piece of my Medal of Honor art project, where I'm gonna go take it, I remembered that portion, and so I figured I'd just go and make this official YouTube video of mine. And so yeah, that'd be really funny if the city of San Antonio did do that though. It'd be really funny because I told Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kuykendall Jr., that was really ballsy to go and think that just because it just seems so dumb. So if he also got mad at me because he knew I was absolutely accurate and it came to be that way, well, you know, told him he sounded like a terrorist when it came to the whole thing to begin with. There are so many places, like I told him, like as many military guys and law enforcement guys are in the city of San Antonio. He is so lucky he didn't get sniped. I mean, like right here, there's so many areas. Like there's a flat roof where I'm passing. There's so many areas where like military guys that, you know, have really good shots could have sniped him so easily. And I'm not talking like the angled ones of churches. I'm talking like flat roofs where they could just lay in downward prone position and just, you know, sharpshooter stuff. Just saying, I'm all for the Second Amendment. But yeah, so I am going to end this particular YouTube official broadcast. Make sure you comment, like, share, and subscribe to my official YouTube channel. Reverend, you guys have a good one.